Good morning, brothers and sisters. Welcome once again. I hope this thing is on. It's doing some weird stuff. All right. Welcome once again. Sisters, are we on? Can you check?
Moment. Yes, I think we are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can't see the screen. It disappeared on me, but anyway, that's fine. So thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Yes, I
We're
think
running
we
a few
are.
minutes late.
Oh, okay.
Can you mute your phone? Mute your mic, Augusta. Yeah. All right, sorry about that. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. Today is August the 17th of 2020, and my name is Mona Chimisaga, and I'm here in Houston, Texas. And I will have my sisters introduce themselves. Sisters, please.
Good morning, everybody. It's actually September, Sister Muna. You said August.
Hey, I'm going back in time, okay? I know.
Anyway, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us. My name is Augusta Nasika. I'm in Richmond, Texas. Thank you.
This is Augusta for bringing me back to life, right? Sister, please go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Eputus Simon Okube. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. From the cradles of Africa, civilization began. From Mother Africa, life and humanity germinated. We've heard notable scholars say that constitution making originated from Igbo land. So we're here to discuss how to restore civilization of Africa, which was halted and truncated by some foreign invaders, flesh eaters, bloodsuckers. You see, in a world where change is the only real constant, creating an environment of success in Africa has become inevitable. So we want to inform our viewers that this talk show is for all who dare to have a dream, those who share the hope of seeing Africa and Africans rise from ashes of despair. The battle is on, my people. Thanks for being part of it.
Thank you, Sister Epi. Thanks for being part of what we're doing today. We are serious about getting it right. God has given us two tools to do the right thing. We just have to use it, and we're capable of using it. So let the work begin. So our topic today is the Distressed Federation of Nigeria and options for transitioning between referendums and anarchy. So join us today. We do have our information on the on our topic today for calling at a later time. So 50 years after the 1917 cessation of hostilities, the operators of the unitary Nigeria, that is those that call themselves one Nigeria, which emerged from war and robbery, has progressed heedlessly in the wrong direction and arrived at the threshold of a failed state, heading almost unstoppable to a catastrophic break up in the face of massive invasion and ethnic cleansing onslaught by the same forces that plunged the Union into war in 1967 and seized absolute control over the failed Union. So in today's show, we'll be looking to continue to focus on the fortunate 1999 Constitution, which currently embodies the fundamental contradictions in Nigeria, contradictions that Nigeria must now resolve. We see the upcoming constitutional force majeure as an option, cheaper and affordable, of course, when we compare that to a violent disintegration, with unimaginable consequences that will involve the global community having to deal with over 200 million traumatized refugee situation that may erupt from violent bursting of Nigeria. So we are going to play some videos this morning just to give you guys a preamble as to where all of these things are going, all these activities that you see going on. Some of them are not making sense. Some of them you're not able to tie together. So let me pull up a video of our brother, Professor, let me not say his last name.
We'll give Augusta to do that.
Professor Akintola, right? If I'm saying it right. So let me pull up his video. that we're going to play today. Please bear with me.
Sanguinary civil war in which two sides of our country have been pitched against each other for fully 30 months. A war which had directly and indirectly taken the lives of millions of our citizens and had left the lives of more millions shattered. I assess that we are assembled to mark this day for two important reasons. That is, apart from celebrating and honoring the ones whom we lost, the millions whom we lost in the Civil War. First, we are assembled in gratitude to God that our Civil War came to an end when it did, and that it did not continue beyond that day to go on inflicting more deaths and more wounds on us, citizens and peoples of Nigeria, and of our country as a corporate entity in the world. Secondly, and more importantly, we elders, leaders, rulers, and citizens of Nigeria are assembled here today before the world and before the ruler of all peoples and nations to assert that we, the people of this country called Nigeria, will never again manage the affairs of our country in such a way as to lead to war among us. It is hugely providential that we are registering this result today before the world and before the creator and ruler of the world. I say providentially because as an elderly citizen of this country now, and as a citizen who was already a young university teacher in the time of our Civil War, I have good reasons to fear today that the character of the affairs of our country these days and the prevailing mood among us Nigerians are chillingly similar to the character of the affairs of our country in the months leading to our Civil War. The government of our country is being managed in ways that make it look like an exclusive preserve of a particular minority.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be an agenda being pursued now to establish this minority in all positions of command in the executive, administrative, judicial, and security services of our country. The voices of the majority register protests continually and are continually disrespected and ignored. The state of law is patently being subsumed to the needs of that agenda, with seriously damaging effects on human rights. These situations are inevitably fostering among the peoples of the Middle Belt and the peoples of the south of our country the feeling that they are being reduced to the status of conquered peoples in Nigeria. Meanwhile, some persons belonging to the would-be minority conquerors are loudly threatening to overrun and seize the ancestral homelands of the said peoples of the Middle Belt and the South, and are actually pushing for that conquest with the acts of destruction of farms and villages, acts of wanton killings of people, acts of kidnapping, acts of intimidation, and the act of bringing masses of their ethnic kinsmen from countries beyond Nigeria to seize and possess land by force and intimidation in Nigeria. And meanwhile, the government of Nigeria seems to be purposed not to defend the threatened peoples of Nigeria, but to aid the process of the conquest. The outcome of all this, as we assemble here today, the outcome of all this as we assemble here today, is that our country is divided again into two hostile parts. The minority that, the first part is the minority that seems bent on conquest and ethnic cleansing, and the majority that is striving with great handicaps to preserve their homelands and their existence and integrity as peoples. Meanwhile also, as a manifest corollary to these fearsome developments, the dreaded fundamentalist terrorist movement, ISIS, after being vanquished in the Middle East, has established its new strong base in a part of Nigeria, and from there has proclaimed West Africa as its new province of Islam. The probability has become high, therefore, that ISIS might make a junction with a minority pushing for the conquest of the majority in Nigeria, that Nigeria might thus be ravaged by ISIS, that Nigeria might soon be the base from which ISIS will push to conquer West Africa and all of Africa, with the purpose of turning Africa into a mighty base of fundamentalist terror against the rest of the civilized world. But in the spirit of today, in the spirit of never again plunging our country into civil war, we can and we must terminate all this descent towards horrific war. We can and we must speedily move our country into the state of law, the state of mutual respect among our hundreds of peoples, and the state of order and peace in our country. The steps needed to accomplish this new order of existence for our country are obvious. First, the Nigerian ethnic nation that has been threatening other Nigerian ethnic nations, that has been engaging in invasion, destruction, disruption, and barbarous rampages in the homelands of other Nigerian peoples, and that has been mobilizing external forces to assist the conquest, the subjugation, and ethnic cleansing of other Nigerian ethnic nations, must now immediately stop and renounce this agenda to the satisfaction of all of us in Nigeria. and to the satisfaction of the rest of the civilized world. Secondly, after that agenda has been stopped and renounced by its authors, we Nigerians must.
All right, so we did not want to play this video. It's quite long, play all of them. So our brother, sister, we go ahead.
Yeah, at least we've heard some of the things that he has said. And you know that this meeting was done January. A lot has happened from that time to now. You see, the Yorubas are speaking in one voice. As Professor Akintoye said, you know, that starting action will be taken. They've started taking it. And we are seeing it. October 1st, the Yorubas, the entire Yoruba nation, we speak in one voice to the whole world. We make a big statement to the world that they're tired of Nigeria and they've moved on. And they're not just moving on with protests. They are putting structures in place. They are putting their security in place. Sahara Reporter just reported that I think the Moteku, they've started work already. They got some cows and some herders and all that. So work has begun. So it's not just walking around and talking. No, they are speaking in one voice. And that's the important thing. If you have an elder, you respect your elders, then you work together with your elders. Things move faster and things are better coordinated. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we have a second video to show. I'm just gonna play you for a few minutes. So with these videos, we're just trying to make a point as to some of the things that we'll be talking about today. So that's what we're doing, playing these videos. God help me, where is it? Okay.
Has never been.
I wanted to know, this majority you are talking about, what do you think will trigger them to hold this minority accountable? Do you think that this that people have about the influx of people from the north to the south could be the trigger?
Yes.
And do you actually think that people from the north are not allowed to, shouldn't be allowed to leave the south if they want to south? Could be the trigger.
The quarrel has never been about people from the north that come to this. Dangote have been in the south doing his business. The Africa's richest man. Nobody has ever asked anybody who came to sell tomato in Ketu or cattle in Garki in Enugu. Not. The problem began when in 2015 we saw an invasion by people who were not in Nigeria.
I want to get okay.
It's important.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
important.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So I was saying that in what we have now, is important. Minority,
all right, go ahead.
is minority. I was saying that in the with the people they claim to represent. Or for instance, or
So
from
your phone, please.
You are in Abuja because Osun or Abakaliki people send you. If at the time they are saying we don't want further business under this constitution, you now go and connive with whoever is organizing the election from Abuja for you, and you get to Abuja name, I can assure you that between now and when the next round of elections will have come to where voting is taking place, a big problem will have arisen between those who want to go and renew the enslavement of all that, and the ones who are being enslaved, the enslavement by bringing an end to what happened. You've been hearing about constitutional force majeure. This majority, we are talking about the indigenous nationalities of the South and Middle Belt. If there's anybody in Igbo land or Ijaw land or Yoruba land or Tiv land that is going to be stronger than the people from those places because somebody in Kano or Abuja is encouraging him to come and be part of sustaining that constitution, that person is going to learn the hard way. And you know the constitution is a social contract. There has been a fundamental departure from the basis of our social contract that we were building a secular federation, a secular union, and a democracy in which life is sacrosanct and we live under the rule of law. A federation, we have ceased to be a federation. A secular union, we have ceased to be a secular union. It goes ceased to be a democracy. Rule of law, you can't have rule of law under this constitution. Sanctity of human life. So in all of that, and only one side, if you go back to that map that shows the alliance and the Sharia, all those things are coming from these feudalists, from these Sharia adherents, who are now prevailing on the rest of the people. Look at how 1979 Constitution came and how it became 1999 Constitution and who made it. It was Murtala Mohammed that commissioned the 1979 Constitution by 1975 when he overthrew Gowon. And all of what the Constitutional Assembly did in 1977 to moderate the draft they were given, the one that came from Rotimi Williams and Ben Wabese, Murtala Mohammed that had been killed in 76, Obasanjo convened the Constitutional Assembly that was supposed to be looking at the draft and recommending what would become constitution. They finished their work, submitted a clean copy of what they had agreed upon to Obasanjo, but on the 21st of September 1978, Obasanjo goes on national broadcast to announce 17 amendments to the finished work of the Constitutional Assembly. It was in those 17 amendments that everything that took us away from being a federation were restored. The Constitutional Assembly did not accept the states that were created to truncate the regions. People are talking about Ironsi that damaged our federation. It wasn't. Ironsi did not touch decree number 34 of 1966. Did not touch the structure of the Federation of Nigeria. It was decree number 14 of 1967 by Gowon that broke the 4 regions into 12 states. That was the first time the structure of Nigeria was touched, 1 year after Ironsi had been killed. So we are talking about something that is so fundamental. There has been a departure from the basis of the social contract. And when something happens when an extraordinary circumstance arises in a contract, parties who are no longer able to keep the obligations under that contract are in a position to declare force majeure and suspend obligations under that contract. That's why we have come to the social contract. The Constitution of Nigeria has come under that situation in which there has been an extraordinary situation that take away the basis of the contract itself. And so those who are suffering, those who are dying, those who cannot see any future in remaining in that social contract are going to declare the action that is coming is that constitutional force majeure, to say that this contract can no longer, we are suspending our obligations under this contract. And when that majority has taken that step, let us then see the number of those who insist that they will use guns to muzzle the rest of the people into submission. Then we'll count their guns.
Now, somebody might ask you, have you thought about this majority moving ahead to recall people who are representing them in Abuja, to recall them and say, look, we don't want you anymore, come back until this is done? Is that a possibility?
Of course, there are dates.
All right, thank you. I was looking to stop this video. I couldn't find a button. Keep doing some magical stuff. All right, so we just want to bring attention back to the 1999 Constitution. This is where all these grievances, everything else is emerging from. So, Sister August, I'll have you continue to do that part. And
all right, thank you, Sister Muna. As Barrister Tony rightly said, it said that a constitution is a social contract. And, for you to have any social contract, 2 or 3 people will come together and agree. So now let me read the Nigerian Constitution, the preamble. Here it says—
Sorry, Sister Augusta, do we have the PowerPoint? Is it coming up?
yes, let me get that. Yes.
Okay.
So that people can follow and see.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
A lot of screen sharing. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, I hope our people can see the PowerPoint.
Yes.
Okay,
Hold on, let me blow it up.
all right.
Okay.
Okay, so the preamble says, we, the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, having firmly and solemnly resolved to live in unity and harmony as one indivisible and indissoluble sovereign nation under God, dedicated to the promotion of inter-African solidarity.
Enkwe.
Sorry?
No, I said Enkwe. Go ahead.
Yeah. World peace, international cooperation and understanding, and to provide for a constitution for the purpose of promoting the good government and welfare of all persons in our country on the principles of freedom, equality, and justice, and for the purpose of consolidating the unity of our people. Do hereby make, enact, and give to ourselves the following constitution. So now let me read chapter 2, the fundamental objectives and directive principles of the state policy. So in section 14.1, the Federal Republic of Nigeria shall be a state based on the principles of democracy and social justice. Section 14.2, it is hereby accordingly declared that A, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom government, through this constitution, derives all his powers and authority. B, the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government.
Mm-hmm.
And C, the participation by the people in their government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. So, Sister, let's delve a little bit. Sisters, let's go on.
Yeah. These people, it's like when you lie against yourself, you say something, you lie against yourself. From beginning, the preamble, it said, we, the people. You see, they lied against the people. Nigeria has a foundation of falsehood. No wonder everyone lies. Lie Muhammad. Lie is their menu. How can a nation be built on falsehood? And some people are saying, let's go on, let's just go on. He said, we the people. Who are the peoples? The Ijo, the Ogoni, Ibibio, Yoruba, Igbo, Tiv, Idoma. All these people, they said they met, but they've not met.
Nope.
They did not meet.
Where did they meet? Where did they meet?
Exactly. When? Where?
Where? How?
The literature, I say, on what occasion?
On what occasion?
So they did not meet. And mind you that the Fulanis are foreigners. So they are not even part of the meeting they're talking about, because they're not even part of it. Meanwhile, they are the ones ruling us now. They are the ones making constitutions on our behalf. Foreigners are making constitutions on our behalf and saying that we, the people, have met. Have you seen my people? We are slaves in our own land.
Mm-hmm.
We have not discussed.
Mm-mm.
Now they say that we firmly and solemnly resolve. When I've not discussed with you, how did I firmly and solemnly resolve? It doesn't make sense.
Mm-mm.
And these are the fundamental issues that we're telling our people. That you cannot build a structure on falsehood and expect it to stand. Nigeria is built on falsehood. It must come down. Then we begin from the scratch. We have not met. So all these lies, you need to stop. And you see in section 14, 2A, it says sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria. The Bible says that he that knows what to do and you're intentionally doing what you shouldn't do, is a sin to you. You know that sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria. That is out of that, they are from them, that government through constitution will now operate. But you went ahead to do constitution on their behalf.
I know.
With your girlfriends and your whatever you wear, and then you know the truth that sovereignty belongs to the people. It's inside that constitution.
That's why I said with we the people. That's why
exactly
we the people, right?
But you are not ready to follow through to allow the people to now make the constitution. You toppled the people's constitution and put military decree and called it that the people meant. It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense at all.
Please go ahead, Sister Augusta.
Yeah, so I'm going to read the Constitution, the decree number 24 that is embedded in the Constitution. So
yeah, that's called the schedule. You know, that part is the part that said how they did the Constitution.
Yes. So I'm going to read out the entire the decree 24
the
part.
Decree 24. Okay.
PowerPoint. So the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, promulgation decree 1999, decree number 24. And this was done on the 5th of May, 1999. It says thus: whereas the federal military government of Federal Republic of Nigeria, in compliance with the transition to civil rule, that's political program, decree of 1998 has, through the Independent National Electoral Commission, conducted elections to the office of the President and Vice President, governors and deputy governors, chairman and vice chairman, the National Assembly, the Houses of Assembly, and the local government councils. And whereas the federal military government, in furtherance of its commitment to hand over to a democratically elected civilian administration on the 29th of May, 1999, inaugurated on the 11th November, 1998, the Constitutional Debate Coordinating Committee charged with responsibility to, among other things, pilot the debate on the new Constitution for Nigeria, coordinate and collate views and recommendations canvassed by individuals and groups for a new Constitution for Nigeria. And whereas the Constitutional Debate Coordinating Committee benefited from the receipt of large volumes of memoranda from Nigerians at home and abroad, and oral presentations at the public hearings at the debate centers throughout the country. And the conclusions arrived thereat, and also at various seminars, workshops, and conferences organized, and was convinced that the general consensus of the opinion of Nigerians is the desire to retain the provision.
All these things did not happen. No. All these things didn't happen. No. Nobody held any meeting with anybody. Nothing didn't happen.
No, nada. So they said, where did I stop? I was convinced that the general consensus of opinion of Nigeria is the desire to retain. How are we going to retain something that we don't even have an idea of? Retain the provisions of the 1979 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria with some amendments. So they brought the 79 Constitution, and to their eyes, they amended it and named it 1999. So, hold on one moment. Okay, let me continue. And whereas the Constitutional Debate Coordinating Committee has presented the report of its deliberations to the Provisional Ruling Council, and whereas the Provisional Ruling Council has approved the report subject to such amendments as are deemed necessary in the public interest and for the purpose of promoting the security, welfare, and good governance, and fostering the unity and progress of the people of Nigeria with a view to achieving its objective of handing over an enduring constitution to the people of Nigeria. And whereas it is necessary, in accordance with the program on transition to civil rule for the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1979, after necessary amendments and approved by the Provisional Ruling Council, to be promulgated into a new constitution for the Federal Republic of Nigeria in order to give the same force of law with effect from the 29th of May, 1999. Now, therefore, now I'm going to read what they embedded in that constitution that they don't want us to know about. Now, therefore, the federal military government hereby decrees as follows. So it's the federal military government that decreed it, or not we the people, Abi. Decreed as follows, that one.
They're telling on themselves.
That there shall be for Nigeria a constitution which shall be as set out in the schedule to this decree. 2, the constitution set out in the schedule to this decree shall come into force on the 29th of May, 1999, sorry. And 3, whenever it may hereafter be necessary for the constitution to be printed, it shall be lawful for the federal government printer to omit all parts of this decree apart from the schedule, and the constitution as so printed shall have the force of law notwithstanding the omission. So, sisters.
Wow. Wow, once again, we can see how the so-called military call their few friends and their girlfriends went into a hotel room after having a good time and doing whatever they usually do, they normally do. That's the only thing God created them to do. They came out and decided that they're with the people. Well, do you really blame them? What happens when you're having 3 or 10 people in one room doing the same thing? I guess they are the weedy people, huh? They're over the whole country of 200 million people. So in federation, constitution starts from the grassroots and not from the top, like they did in Abuja. It's supposed to start from the people, and then it works its way up. You can't even send representative because there's no federation yet, okay? There has to be a referendum for the people to decide. That's why, if you guys recall last week, we told you guys what a referendum was and what it's used for. So there has to be a referendum for people to say yes or no first to decide what they want, because it should not be by force. It should not be by force. And this is what they have not done. They conveniently omitted all of this. Then the people in various federating blocks will meet in their area, prepare their constitution, then they will bring it to the table with other federating units, which will also bring their own. Then the negotiation will begin, okay? And then at the end, once they have reached, because everybody is going to be looking at the interests of their people, that's the way it's supposed to be. Once they reach a consensus, they will agree to federating, they will agree on the term of the union, and then they will decide and say, oh, now we have a union will be born. So the first step we need to do now is to go and meet, because we haven't even met yet. We have not even done that. So that once we have discussed and we're satisfied with the content of the constitution that we agreed upon, because right now we have not agreed, then we can agree to give up the power to generate things in our land. For example, the electricity.
Yeah,
then we can give up.
Sister Mona, you know what they did was, like, sorry, I'm not interrupting you.
Go ahead.
Like 1960, the one that we did last week, the 68 articles, the power to generate electricity, all those things, the content is what they said that we have agreed.
Right.
And signed.
Right.
That means we have agreed that we will not generate electricity. We have agreed to give up the power to generate electricity. That's what they're saying, that we have agreed. Because people are not understanding how terrible what these people did. That we have agreed to give up the power to protect ourselves and our children. That we have agreed that when they're killing us, we will just keep our heads and let them kill. That's what they're saying, that we have agreed.
We should do sit down, they look.
Yes.
And
they're killing us. And there won't be consequences. The killers will not be held responsible for doing it. These are the things that are saying that we agreed. So when they're saying that they made constitution, you see how they lied? How can we agree that we will give up arms, that we will give up the right to protect ourselves and our children? How can we agree that will build up will give up the right to build roads and infrastructure in our land. How can we agree? How can Ijo Ogeni agree that you should steal all their oil wells?
And
leave nothing for them. Yes.
And give it to a man in Jigawa. I don't know how they would agree to that.
It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make
So there's
sense.
no way anybody in right thinking mind will say that the people agreed to these things. It's not possible.
Nope.
Ogoni man, Ijo man will not give up his oil wells and say Sokoto man should take it and then sign that that's the constitution.
Why Sokoto man keeps his gold and his diamonds
and his diamonds and it's cobalt, all the kind of whatever that they find, the minerals that they find there. And the funny thing is that they even poison their water that they cannot even fish. Because professionally, what these guys do is fish. They are fishermen. They like fishing. So their water is poisoned. Their oil well is being taken. They have nothing.
So how can somebody say that they signed?
Take my water, take
that
my...
they agreed to that. That they solemnly and firmly resolved.
Agreed.
No wonder they call the country 419, and we thought we are being offended. Everywhere we go there, you're 419, because the country is 419. You're living in a country based on 419. You know, so it's not, they are not being funny. They are calling us what we are. The country is a fraud. There's no other way to describe it. So you can see there are some fundamental issues and even extraordinary circumstances that made this constitution void. Just looking at the way they went about doing it, the way it was implemented, the way it was forced on us, everything about it is flawed.
And the military, is the military that foisted this upon us. It was the military. Military that they didn't get lawyers that would write constitution. They didn't get people to put their inputs. There were no seminars being held anywhere. They didn't get the communities to say, oh, this is what we like for our community. Please add this to your constitution. Nobody sat down anywhere. It's just that the military sat down and said, you know what? Let's pick 1979 constitution, dust it a little bit and present it as, and that is why it's called a decree. It's not even a constitution because it was not a social contract. We didn't meet, we didn't agree. So let's even stop upgrading that thing. Let's just call it what it is. Decree 24. That's what it is.
Wow. Wow. So like we said, so we'll see there's so many things that is wrong with this constitution. They started by toppling of the the federation. They're using people, they are forcing their constitution on the people by themselves. They have they converted our federation into from federating region into 36 states that we have now. Yeah, originally it was into 12 and now 32 states, 36 states. And then they went even further to have a Sharia law for the 12 northern states. So are we talking about the...
Let me even help you with that, which means that the 12 northern states have already succeeded. So why we still want Nigeria? The 12 northern states, they've moved on with their Sharia. If it is a federation, as you rightly said, Nigeria was supposed to be a secular country. But 12 states, 12 core northern states have said that they want to do Sharia. Have they not succeeded? Have they not moved on? So what are we waiting for? Why haven't we moved on too?
I know, a country that killed its own.
Constitution that was given to us, forced down our throats, and we are not moving away from that shackles.
It's terrible, my sister. This is a country that continues to, they've been killing people. Are we talking about the Biafran genocide? Are we talking about the ones that they kill every day? Blood everywhere on the streets.
On the streets.
So we can see now that we are no longer under obligation to keep this union. There is no reason for us to keep the 419 union that was forced upon us, that we were not consulted before decisions were made. So this is the time. And then when we say we are taking down the constitution, so people keep hearing restructuring the constitution. You cannot restructure a foundation that is already gone. You have to clean out, start from the bottom, clean it out and start all over so that you can build what you want. And that is one thing that we're asking you guys, you know, from day one. We've been doing this thing here. People are hearing what they want to hear. Please, let's understand that this constitution is what's holding you on your neck. It's what gives the Jigawa man, is the Jigawa, that's the oil in Bayelsa belongs to the man in Jigawa. You cannot do anything. So we really have to take down this union, this so-called constitution. Nothing else, nothing more. There's no other way to describe it. Okay.
And for those flaunting Igbo presidency, we've said it in our last show, because you still have to come back and say and swear to that constitution. And once you will carry out exactly what's in that constitution.
And it's okay really for people, if you want to run for president, wait till these things are done right. Then it's okay. You can come and run for president. It's okay. Then you cannot have us held hostage while your children are schooling overseas and you want to continue the impunity. No, we're not having that. We're not having that. Sister, please go ahead.
We're not. And we are really appealing to different groups in that place. We are on this platform, we try to expose the lies, to show you people why this thing cannot go on like this. We want to begin to call some groups and appeal to you people one by one. We want to invite you to play the role you're supposed to play, to help the people attain freedom. Media, both local and international, you have a duty to investigate. You need to do investigative journalism and report truth at all times. Do not allow this fraudulent government to keep using you against the people. Report the truth. You know the truth. And sometimes when they interview people, someone like Barrett Anthony, you see how they're trying to cut him short because they want to be politically correct.
Correct.
You cannot continue to be politically correct when people are dying.
And it's coming for you.
Exactly. We want to appeal to political parties. Like my sister said, hold on. Let's remove and change this thing. You can now start your politics.
Exactly.
We need to stop this fraud. There is no constitution. That means there's no nation. By implication, there's no election. No election. What election? You heard when he said that is from the people's constitution that the government will now emanate. So that means if the people have not constituted, if the people have not done constitution, you don't have a nation. You don't have any election that you're running. First thing first, we want to appeal to labor union. The welfare of workers should be uppermost in your heart. Stop this game. Look at somebody like Adamu Oshomole. He was the labor union president. That's why he was talking. Now they gave him opportunity to do something. He did worse than the people before him.
Where was?
Why? Because there is immunity in that constitution that allows all criminals to commit all sorts of crimes and nobody will question them.
Yes.
And they'll get away with it. They'll use our money to import new wives. Why are people dying? Even when they get to the place, they will buy the whole village of the wife and then come. How are we going to do this? We want to appeal to civil societies. We, the people, own the land. Sovereignty and power belongs to the people, to the citizens, not to you groups. You must allow the people to exercise their rights. It is their right to make a constitution that will govern them. And they must be allowed to exercise that right. We appeal to Bar Association, SANS, the so-called SANS, what are they saying? SAN. Senior Advocate of Nigeria. I don't know what they're advocating. It is your responsibility to understand the legal technicalities of this fight of liberation. Stop making yourself look unlearned. It's ridiculous. When I'm in medical field, I'm not coming to explain what you read to you. Does it make sense?
No.
It doesn't make sense because you're lying to yourselves. If you actually sit down and examine this thing properly, you're going to see these things that we're saying.
You will be screaming murder. You will be screaming blood.
We want to appeal to human rights activists. You see, a slave has no human rights. The first thing is to liberate us first. Because the only reason why they're doing what they're doing to us is because we have been enslaved. We are slaves. If we were not slaves, we would defend ourselves. We are not that weak. But we have been enslaved and incapacitated. So the first point of call for any human right that is doing anything is to liberate us first. A slave has no human rights. So you crying up and down will not help us. Help us to be free. Then we can take it from there. Now we appeal to the churches. We know that you think that if we divide, if Nigeria divides, that your congregation will divide, that your finance will divide, all the money will not come. But that's not true. When people are politically and economically free, you see, spiritual freedom becomes easier and faster. So if you actually love your congregation, if you love those people that you've been preaching to, if you love them, join hands and liberate them. They need economic freedom. They need political freedom. Then, when you preach Christ to them, it will make sense. That is where spiritual freedom makes sense.
Right.
Spiritual freedom without economic empowerment is stupid. It's
another
nonsense.
form of slavery, my
It's
dear.
another form of slavery. And that is not what Christ came for.
The fact is that, Sister Ekwe, the fact is that we even have all those pastors misinterpreting the Bible, trying to interpret it to their own benefits. You understand? Making them people worshiping their pastors for no reason. Their pastors are not telling them how to emancipate themselves from slavery. Some of them are even enslaving them the more with the scriptures. So we're even telling people, get the scriptures by yourself, read it, you would have an understanding. Especially if you have an open mind, you would have an understanding of what that scripture is all about. You don't need somebody to come and bamboozle you with imaginary or whatever that is going to come from heaven. You understand? As they rightly said, I don't know if it's in the Bible, they said, heaven help those who help themselves. So if we cannot help, if your church cannot help to lift you economically and lift you out of that slave mentality, you won't even be able to accept whatever the pastor is preaching to you. So we need all the pastors on board on this one. The likes of Mbaka was the one that fostered this military guy upon people. And people are still going there for adoration. I wonder what they're adoring, Bikodo.
They're adoring Ekwensu.
That's why nothing is changing for them now. The more you adore, the more you're enslaved. So what does that tell you? That the God that you're praising is in the toilet. He's constipated.
They've made Christianity seem like a ridiculous game.
A ridiculous thing, yeah.
And it's not like that. And it's not true. It is not God. God is not to be blamed. Jesus Christ is not to be blamed. Bible is not to be blamed. It is the people practicing whatever that they chose to practice. And that's why we are talking to the church leaders. Jesus will hold you accountable. That Jesus that you're worshiping, that Jesus that you're following, he will hold you accountable. Because you were there and his people were being slaughtered. That's why he asked Peter, do you love me more than this? Do you love me more than the fishes? Do you love me more than the meat? Do you love me more than all these things that you're getting? If you love me, feed my sheep. Take care of the lamb, the weak ones. You can see them being destroyed. You can see what that situation in Nigeria is doing to your church members. And Christ is saying, don't you think you can do something about it? Something more than just preaching to them. You're preaching to people that are not economically empowered. We see Christianity here. We see how people do not pray to get jobs. People do not pray to do certain things. They just apply and get jobs.
Or fast, or sleep with your pastor.
No, here, people do not fast to get jobs.
Oh, they don't.
They just apply and get jobs. And it's the same Christianity. So what is wrong is the way people are practicing it. Why is it like that? Because the system that is called Nigeria is a fraudulent system, and everything in it is fraud, including the church. We talk to the military, the security officers. Yes, we know you swore to protect the integrity of Nigeria. Does that include when Nigerians are being slaughtered by foreigners? The foreigners that overpowered you and passed through the borders you're supposed to be watching. Don't you see that you have failed to protect our people? You did not protect the borders. Why are you holding us down for them to kill us? We are some of you. When we say that we want to be free, you say, no. I'm a soldier. I don't want to war. Did we tell you that it's war we are talking about? Have you not seen your failure right in your face? So you want us to continue with this mediocrity? That military that you are inside, is that how your colleagues practice military in other places?
Not the clue.
Where you left the borders you're supposed to safeguard, you are inside
the village, spanking
inside
women and children.
Women.
Unharmed youth, killing youths that are unharmed.
Is that your job?
Is that your job?
Personnel. That's not your job. You should know that. You should be feeling unfulfilled yourself. Because if you are a trained soldier, you will know that what you're doing in Nigeria is not professional. You will long to have opportunity to do something professional.
But so you
join us.
I don't even train soldiers. Are these same people not the Boko Haram that Muhammadu Buhari is putting back into the soldiers?
Yeah, they are mixing them. And the ones I'm talking to, I'm not talking to the Boko Haram terrorists. Those ones, I don't have discussion with them because they are foreigners. I'm talking to the local ones, the citizens of Nigeria, the unfortunate citizens of Nigeria that are in military. You should be in front of this war with us. You should be part of this. Rather than trying to stop us. Are you not seeing the people dying? Some people, I was in a group, somebody was saying that he's military, that he cares more about the Fulanis. That's dishonesty. That's hypocrisy. They're killing us. We're not saying we want to kill them. We're saying we want to run. We want to be liberated from this massacre. We want to stop it. That's what we're saying. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Augusta. Sister Augusta, go ahead. Very soon we'll be taking phone calls. So if you want to log in, your Zoom and whatever, get ready. We are almost to that point. Go ahead.
All right, yeah, thanks, Sister Muna. So we need to find out what is at stake for everybody here. What is in there for us, for the stakeholders? We've often said that we are the stakeholders. This is not a one-man show, it's everybody. Everybody has to be part of this. So what is at stake? For the Jaws, they have their oil, the waterways. They have 3 million barrels of oil a day. That is worth fighting for. For the Yorubas, especially Lagos, they have their oil, they have the ports, they also have the waterways. That is worth fighting for. Like some people will say, oh, if we divide, the Igbos will no longer use the port authorities of the Lagos ports. They will no longer use the Tinkan Island. They will no longer use whatever. But the truth about it is that they will still generate enough money to keep themselves intact. Because what they generate on a daily basis or on a monthly basis, by the time it gets to Abuja, they give them pittance. They give them so little. So why not generate what you are generating and use it for your own people?
You can say that again, my dear.
No, they shouldn't be afraid of us dismantling that union. Then for the Middle Belt, security is important for the Middle Belt. It is. And their vast land, so that they can go back to farming. That's who they are, farmers. So security is important for the Middle Belt. So that is what they're going to benefit. For us, the Igbos, we want to fly, the opportunity to fly beyond the skies. We don't like being held. That's an opportunity for us. And that is why we are part of the stakeholders in this. Then for the international community, for the global communities, for America, importantly, the ISIS and the ISWAP, they want peace and security everywhere. They want peace and security everywhere. So that is what is at stake for all of us, please. Can we go ahead, Sister Mona? We can now entertain.
Go ahead. So thank you, Sister Augusta. So everybody have something at stake here. So this is a good time to join the moving train. The earlier you understand where we're going with this, the better for you. And like I keep telling my sisters here, I keep saying, if we understand the process that is needed to end this thing, By the end of this month, we can end that union. I mean, he said, no, we can end that union.
I'm telling you.
That we can stop feeling like we are powerless. We are not powerless. We are not powerless. It's we the people. Elijah, please mute your phone. Elijah, are you ready to talk? You can turn on your video. So call us, you know, our phone number is listed there on our topic today. Elijah, can you turn on your video? Okay. Yeah, can you turn off the device you're listening with? Is we're hearing it?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes. Can you turn off your listening
Hello.
device?
Hello.
Yes, Elijah. Okay, go ahead.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
Yes, go ahead. Your contribution today, please. Focus.
Okay, greetings to all of you, Sister Mona, Ekwi, and Augusta. Greetings to you.
Welcome, Maz.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I missed your program last week because I was on duty.
Oh, okay.
So I tuned in this week. I'm lucky to be around and also join you again this week.
Thank you. What's your contribution?
I appreciate the great job you are doing. Okay, I've been following you and I love the orientation you guys are creating. My challenge now, what I want to ask is, how do we start rural sensitization? Because what you are saying is very in our faces. We all know it. That is the situation we are in, and majority, let me not say all, majority of us actually want to be out of this kind of contraction, this kind of system. But now there are poor ones, or the ones that are not privileged to link to you, to hear you through social media or the Zoom platform. Now, how, because we can only get to these people when we do rural sensitization. How do we start doing rural sensitization? I am of the opinion that we suggest to Ogatoni Nadi, if we can have a kind of a meeting like Igbo Time Union in all the states from time to time, where we come, educate our people. Because if we say, okay, maybe the way to go about it is no election, you will see some of our people, just like what is happening in Edo State today. After all said and done, you see people going to collect, to sell their vote because of mundane thing, wrapper, 5,000 naira that you just eat today and it will finish. But if these guys, if these people are sensitized, are meant to understand that this is for your future, let's stand for it. Let's say no to this. I think it will go a long way. It will help in this your orientation you are creating now. So that means it will even reduce your job. You don't need to talk much, and the people will key in. The people will understand. So
thank you, Mark. That's a good question. Sister, go ahead.
Yeah, hello.
Thank you very much for your contribution. You see,
yeah,
first of all, that's why we said that this job is not Tony's job. We're saying power to the people. We, the people. So we will do it together. Like somebody like you, you're from somewhere. That place you're from, you people have church there. You have market there. You have Umunna. You have meeting, Umada. You have all these meetings. We're already in groups. You have your town union and the president of your town union. Like me, I'm already in touch with the president of my town union. And he's following what is going on. Do you understand? So this is how we're saying that it's a collective thing. It's not something that we say it's on the table of Brother Tony. He's doing the one that he's doing. And it's big. He doesn't sleep. It's day and night. So we, the people, and that's why we say this type of freedom, we don't want the one that one man is giving us. We want the one that we understand it, you know, the system. We want to work with a system. Now that we understand what the system is, we go and spread the news. Now, some people can make CDs, like some of these are teaching. We have some of our brothers already making CDs, bonding it on CDs. You just go in the living room, play it, and bring people into the living room, the parlor. Say, come and listen. Do you understand? Go to the church, talk to the pastor, talk to the vicar, talk to the priest. Slot the thing to him to watch. When he finishes watching, he's educated, he understands, he will teach the people. So this is our job. Go to motor park, go to market. It's what we will do. The work is already going on. Do you understand? It's just for us to do more. Then what is talked about election? I want us to understand the technical thing about it. It's not election boycott. It's not even the
no, I just use that as an example.
The one that we are targeting is the national one, actually. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And the way we explain it is this. If we say the constitution is fraudulent, we did not make the constitution. If we pull down the constitution, that's the end of the union, that's the end of the nation, that's the end of national, that's the end of everything. Which election are you going for? So it's even from political parties, not necessarily on the, if we wait until they fix the election, we have lost the battle because they will go with it. So this is when to do that sensitization. We are not even going to be part of anything we are facing, because like you see the Yorubas said they are not interested in election. They are not bringing out any candidate for president. Their man that wanted to come out, they called me to the house and say, if we sound you, you leave them.
Mazi, have you heard Tinubu lately flaunting the idea of presidency? Because no. According to order, that you like go there, we are not going to support you. Yes. They are really, the Yorubas are tired and they are moving with the speed of light. They are really, really tired with what is going on. They don't care anymore, because how can they be generating in the trillions of dollars in the ports, and that does not come to them? It doesn't come back to them. Everything gets transferred to Abuja, to the center. So for how long? So they are really, really tired.
Do you know they have been? Do you know the Yorubas have been contributing money in millions since for this project? They've been contributing money for this project. They even have media. They have things in place already.
Yes, we are the only people
good to go. Yes, good to go. This is what seeing them.
I wanted to add something to what Mazi Madu was asking. So Mazi, please, you know, in this town meeting or your churches, if you want us to come and speak, if you're not sure as to how to handle the information, it's okay. Like if you're having a meeting, meet your president, tell them there is this thing that I want you to hear. Let us know ahead of time. We will call in. We will call your meeting. We'll call during your meeting and educate them as well. Okay, this is how serious we are, or your church.
Yes,
or
please.
However way. And we are looking to turn our home point, take home point to in different languages at the end of the show, so that it will be in audio format, so that we can share it as much as we can. So however way you can see, you don't have to belong to any group. Thank God. You don't have to pay any dues. Thank God. All we're saying is get education. Understand that your constitution is a fraud, that you're being held hostage, that I need to get myself out of this hostility. That's all it needs. And educate the next person to understand it. You don't have to bow to anyone, just understand the process. And I'm telling you, if all of us understand the process, we can end that union by the end of this month. That's how powerful it is, because power belongs to the people. Okay? Thank you, Mazi, for joining us. So you have our information. Call us if you need us to talk to your president, what is it called? Your union president or your church.
Town union president.
Yeah, we can come in and give them 5 minutes presentation as to what we are talking about, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for technology. We can easily do it on Zoom. We can be on your TV screen at your church and talk to you guys. So it's doable. if you're not sure of how to do it. Okay, thank you so much. Bye, Mazi. Okay, Simon Kano, go ahead.
Picture, please, for Simon.
Right. Simon Kano, are you here? Simon, maybe connection issues. And this is what we're trying to tell people. This thing is it's no brainer. You know, you don't have to belong to any group. You don't have to pay monthly dues. You don't have to swear allegiance to anyone.
You don't need to take oath.
You don't need to take oath. All you need to do is to understand the process, and we move with it. To let the can you imagine knowing that is, how do I say this? To know that it's like a child that was kidnapped, maybe a rich child that was, somebody actually tell you a good story about this. It was the wealth belonged to the child, but he did not know, so they turned the child into a slave until the child now was able to realize that the wealth that the family has been living off of belongs to his father. He gives you a different perspective. And that's what we want you guys to understand. This fearing, think, oh, I have a constitution, the constitution is head over my head. Now we're telling you that the constitution is fraud. They don't have any power over you anymore. They never had one. It's just that we didn't even know. They never had any power over you. So for you to understand, the power is within, the power is with the people. So Kano, whoever that phones comes in first, okay, Kano is on. Who is that? Kano. Simon Kano, okay. Connecting audio. Simon may be having.
You should put their name, please, so that they will not bad this video. I think
right. Please put your name, because YouTube told us we're advertising iPhone. When you come in and your name says iPhone or Galaxy, they were like, "Oh no, you can't run this thing because it's saying iPhone." This is what we go through with these people. So try to. You know, Mazi, and in the interest of time, we'll let you go ahead. Mazi Clifford, go ahead. What is your contribution today? Okay, I guess everybody is connecting to audio issues. All right, so please, people, let's, our brother did ask a very good question. You know, we need to sensitize our home to understand what's going on, you know, so that they will not thinking is singing music and cussing people out that is going to get them what they want. That this is a legitimate pathway to get where they're going. So thank you so much for asking that question, and help us to propagate this information. You know, we want it to go as far as it can go to the deepest village in our town, for them to understand that the freedom lies in the takedown of 1999 Constitution, not in some country that does not exist. Okay, Mazi, your name and where you're calling from.
Is it me?
Yes.
All right. My name is Clifford Chukwemeka Iwanya, and I am calling from Houston, Texas.
Mazi, please type your name. If it shows Galaxy S10, they would block us. They would remove this video.
The problem is because for the first time, I'm calling in through my phone, because I'm actually on my way out. I'm actually on my, as you can see, I'm on my way. I'm not calling from my computer.
Okay,
go ahead.
Yeah. All right. I greet everybody, and I appreciate your effort, my dear sisters, and for those who are also watching and joining us. Well, my people, you have all heard it from our sister Mona, our sister Ekwi, and sister Augusta. They have been able to prove to all of us that that document is a fraud. That document is a fraud. And I keep saying this. I don't know how much I can go with this. I don't know how many times I can say this, that the Constitution was not made by us, like Sister, if we ask, you know, we the people when, we the people where, we the people how. And keep in mind, when Sister Augusta was reading this, she made mention of the fact that the 1999 Constitution was decreed into place, premised, based on, extracted from the 1979 Constitution. Now, if you remember what Sister Mona did when we started this program, Sister Mona played a video, an interview with Tony Nadi, where he gave a story of the 1979 Constitution, how it came into being, how Murtala Mohammed started it, you know, contracted what do you call him, Mwabweze and Rotimi Williams. They wrote it instead of the draft constitution being something that is supposed to come from bottom up. It came from top to bottom. Two men wrote it, and then Obasanjo, then Murtala Mohammed has died. Obasanjo took over. Instead of Obasanjo to now allow the Constituent Assembly to do it, when the Constituent Assembly did their work, Obasanjo removed all the things they did. I want us to keep this in mind. The Constituent, as the so-called 1978 Constituent Assembly, denounced the states. They said that the states were not created through plebiscite or through referendum or through, you know, the people, that they were unitarily done by military government. So the Constituent Assembly canceled that. But what did Obasanjo do? Obasanjo reinstated those states. So why am I going this far? I said that Sister Augusta read something about the 1999 Constitution being premised on the 1979 Constitution. So I'm even using this to prove that the 1979 Constitution itself is a fraud.
419 country, indeed.
Yes, the 1979 Constitution is a fraud. By the way, I want to bring it because I've always wanted to say this on your and I want to say it now so that everybody will hear. Nigeria was in the same situation with Ghana. I believe that was probably 1982 or 84, I don't know the year. The military government under Jerry Rawlings also did a similar thing. But what was the difference? They subjected the constitution to a referendum. That is something we must all know. Every constitution to be valid must be subjected to a referendum. The 1979 constitution was not subjected to a referendum. The 1999 constitution was not subjected to a referendum. Therefore, they are all fraud and invalid. Any constitution in this world, go and check. Once that constitution is finished, everything drafted, approved, and everything, it goes through a referendum. The citizen will vote for it. It goes through a referendum. A constitution cannot come into force until it undergoes a referendum. The 1979 constitution, the 1999 constitution, both of them never went through a referendum. Therefore, it is illegal, it is fraudulent, it is illegitimate, and it is meant for the draft card.
And it must come down.
That we must all know. And I really have nothing to say, because I'm on my way out. I will come in maybe some other time or another issue. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you, brother, for that input. So people don't understand that when we say that we are serious about taking this thing down, that we are not kidding. It's like we are serious as heart attack, Americans will say. These people, we have to take down that constitution that was never subjected for a referendum. Our people never played their part in getting it done. And we mentioned this morning to tell you guys, supposed to start from the grassroots. When was the last time somebody came and told you there was a referendum going on about any constitution in that country? My father is 94, and he can tell you that he have never been part of it. Caller, your name and where you're calling from. Uh-oh. Hold on. Caller, your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, this is Comrade Ifan. I'm calling from Port Harcourt, River State.
Okay.
Nigeria.
Go ahead, Ifan. How are you?
Yeah. What I want to say concerning, I think my people, Igbo people, because I know that yes, now today, but I just want to say something about concerning my people, Igbo people. There's issues that is on ground now that everybody have to look into the issue. Because if we did not handle the issue very carefully, then we'll fall into a trap. What am I trying to say? The issue of an election that is coming. Yes, I'm not coming here to campaign for anybody or whatever, but we need to get this done. So what am I trying to say? In our land, in the Igbo land, our elders are not doing their job they're supposed to do. The body that we have called Ohaneze, they're supposed to carry us along. They're not carrying us along. And as God may have it now, the leadership of Ohaneze, the present leadership of Ohaneze, their tenure is finishing this December. In fact, they're supposed to have their election this October. Then they prepare to hand over by January. But maybe, I don't know, maybe later they will do it. So what am I trying to say? For this coming of election that is the Ohaneze, the appellate body that is coming ahead, I'm using this medium now, this opportunity.
Ifeanyi, please round up. What is it that you want to say? Round up, we have other callers. Right? What is it? Go ahead and land.
Okay, so what am I trying to say is that I'm using this video to beg any Igbo sons and daughters, please, let's everybody help, and we need a credible person in that office. We need a credible person. I think for we now, we are from Imo State, and from Imo State, we need somebody. There's the one man that we are projecting there, Mr. Chido Swab. I think Professor Chido Swab. Yes, but it's the person that everybody now is put the Igbos. So I think it is the person we have at hand. Thank you very much, my sister. Let me
Okay.
from here so other people can speak.
All right, thank you. So I guess what our brother is trying to say, there's an election coming up for the Ohaneze and Igbo's position. For us to keep it, this is a time really for us to shine eyes in what they're doing. These people.
Is it one that buying the position? Is
Yes.
it that one that they will allow criminals to buy position and then they will use it to do
we
politics?
find that they're allowing people to pay for the application or something like that. It's insane. So when you charge somebody $500,000 naira and 750,000 naira, then you want them to go there and represent you. No, they have to get their money back. So I think what our brother is trying to say in essence is that we need to put and shine our eyes into what they're doing and make sure that they do the right thing, because we really we have to get it right. Whether it's Ohaneze Ndi Igbo or Ohaneze Ndi Mbo or whatever they call themselves, whoever that is parading in our land as if they're representing our people, we need to look into their affairs so that it's not the same old boys network. Okay, so let's.
Somebody said something in the comment about where I said that Yorubas are contributing money, and it was saying that did I hear there are people trying to question what they're doing with the money? I said these people are not getting it. Yes, they question what they're doing with the money. We cannot give you money and you will not be transparent. Please wake up from this slumber. If we give you money, you will tell us how much came in and what you did with it. It's part of the democracy we are talking about. It's part of power to the people. So if there's any group you belong to and they're busy stealing your money, don't bring it to this platform because we don't support such groups. Thank you.
Thank you. So our iPhone person disappeared again. Are you still on or not? We posted our numbers there. I can call them out. The WhatsApp number is 281 +1 281 643 7283, and then the regular phone number is +1 774 338 0942, and you also have the Zoom meeting ID numbers to join. Go ahead, brother. Your name and where you're calling from. Oh, he disappeared. Okay, so the Zoom meeting ID number is there as well. The meeting number remains the same. It's 987-346-0692, 987-346-0692, and the password is 003282. So join us and give us your contribution today, and please try to focus on today's topic.
I have somebody on the platform said that, let me read this out. I believe that Britain can nullify Nigerian constitution today if they so desire. Is there any effort to persuade or force Britain to nullify this unjust and evil zoo constitution? Can we?
It's not the responsibility of another nation to nullify the constitution of that is governing another people.
Another sovereign nation.
And people are not listening to what we're saying. The power belongs to the people. You, the people, the indigenous peoples of Nigeria. You are the owners of the land. You are the owners of Nigeria. You are the one that will bring it down. If you wait for Britain, Britain will never do that.
It's sad though. You know, our people, we've always looked up to Westerners as God to come and help us in any situation. You know, if they don't get involved, we feel like nothing is going anywhere. And we are just trying to change the narrative of people thinking that's the only way out. It's time for us to begin to do the things that we can do for ourselves. And one of the reasons why we went out of our way to elaborate all the things wrong with this constitution is for you to begin to accept that this is what's holding you hostage. That if you can remove this, because they keep saying we the people, even the criminals that wrote the thing know that the power to run any country will have to come from we the people. And that's why they started with we the people. So how are we the people now don't know that we can take our power back? I'm confused. They are smart enough to know that in order to write anything, any international community will accept as a constitution, they started with we the people. And we're telling you that we were never there. Nobody was ever invited. So there's no reason why that place should continue to exist. And we should not be offended when people call us 419. I used to be offended. I used to want to fight people. I didn't know they read my constitution and realized it was fraudulent. So everything about us is 419. And I thought they were being derogatory. No, the whole thing is fraudulent. So please call in. If not, we'll end the show. Do not call us after the show because we have to run. Again, the number is posted right there on our platform. You can call in and give us your 2 cents. Otherwise, we'll call it a day and we'll start off with our take-home points. Sister Augusta, are you able to do the summary like we discussed?
The pigeon on?
Yes.
The take-home. Okay, that's after you, right?
Yes. Sort of God system here. Okay. All right, so we're going to start off with our take-home points. We wanted to make this thing in a way where we can share this in Yoruba and share it in Pidgin English and share it as well as in Igbo. And if there's anyone that can speak the language for the Middle Belters, please give us a call so you can help us with these take-home points. All right, so what we want us to understand from all these things that we talked about today is to understand the forces invading and conducting the current massive ethno-religious cleansing onslaught in Plateau, Benue, Southern Kaduna, etc., is the same force of conquest that killed over 3.5 million Biafrans in 1960 to 1970. We know that the slave has no right. So the first step in regaining our right as human is to liberate ourselves from this burning house of Lugard called Nigeria. An orderly transition and referendum is the option chosen by the real owners of the land. We do not want anarchy because there's no reason for anybody to die over this. This is 2020. We are civilized people. There is no reason for us at this point in time to die over this, whereas all we're asking is for the right thing. Resolving fundamental contradictions of the Federation is not an assignment for the National Assembly. Because some people say, oh, wait for the Fulani. You think Fulani is going to let you do it? Okay, come now, let's see. That's not what we've never said that. The military or the politicians, it's not their assignment at all. It has to be done by the people. By the people. Get it through your head. I know you've never had power before as a Black person. You're so afraid of if it's a right, you're not or left. You are so afraid of rights, you don't even know that it exists. And we're telling you that you do have rights. And it's not the right written in a newspaper called human rights. It's like you have real rights. So in a federation, the federating blocks will have to make their various constitution And then they come to the center for negotiation. That's the only way you can be. You decide what you're going to, and then if it doesn't work, you remain your own nation. Therefore, suggesting to set up a committee to draft a constitution is an insult on our intelligence. We are not having that. Nobody should draft up nothing. All these so-called senior advocates gallivanting everywhere. Stop talking nonsense. Maybe your law book is old and dusty. Maybe it's a time, open it again and read. We are not going to allow any committee, any animal that we didn't even elect. Or is it the one that you guys kill people to declare yourself ministers and all kinds of stuff? So we are not waiting for you guys to draft any constitution for us. So finally, we, the people of Nigeria, have not met. We have not agreed to form a union with a terrorist organization, Beacon. And no one has asked us that question. So the first step is to ask us that question through referendum. That is the right thing to do, people. We don't want long English. We don't want abracadabra. We don't want shows. We don't want Facebook, YouTube demonstration. Give us referendum. It's just that easy. And these are the things that we're just gonna have to do by ourselves. They're waiting for us to take that move. So it's a no-brainer, my dear. So I will have my sisters, you know, we are trying to make an attempt here to speak this in Igbo. Sister P, so I'll let you go. I looked at the name words. I'm like, damn. I think you said this one in Igbo. So let me take a shot at it, sister. Take a shot. Unmute yourself.
Okay. Sorry.
Go
All
ahead.
Right. Okay. Let's try. So, okay. Ndị be anyị ndewonu. Daalụnụ. Ihe anyị na-achọ ka unu mara bụ na ndị ogbu mmadụ na ndị egbulisi, ndị anọ na mba ndị Plateau, Benue, Southern Kaduna, ha bụkwa otu ndị ahụ gburu ndị nna nna anyị ha n'agha Biafra n'afọ 1967 wee ruo 1970. Ofu ndị ogbu isi, ndị na-ebe isi, ofu ndị ahụ nọ na mba ndị ugwu Hausa. Ihe a ka anyị chọrọ ka unu ghọta. Nke ịbụọ anyị chọrọ ka unu ghọta bụ na onye ohu enweghị nkwuwa okwu, n'ihi na ka anyị maka otu esi wee jide anyị niile wee bụrụ ndị ohu, anyị enweghị nkwuwa okwu. So ihe mbụ ekwesịrị ime bụ imegodu ka anyị si n'ohu wee pụta. Anyị si n'ohu wee pụta, anyị enwezie nkwuwa okwu. Oge elugo mgbe anyị ga-esi n'ụlọ nwa amadi ahụ a na-akpọ Lugard wee pụta. Ya bụ ihe mbụ anyị kwesịrị ime. Anyị achọkwa ha iji tigbuo zọgbuo wee mee ya. Anyị chọrọ iji udo were nọdụ ofu ebe tinye aka n'akwụkwọ a na-akpọ referendum n'okwu nwa bekee. Anyị achọghị iji tigbuo zọgbuo wee mebi obodo ahụ a na-akpọ Nigeria. Enwere iwu ụzọ a ga-esi wee mee. Anyị tinye aka na ntụnye aka referendum. Ya bụ ụzọ a ga-esi wee mee. Idozi Nigeria, ihe ọzọ achọkwa ka unu mara bụ na idozi Nigeria anọghị ọ dị n'aka anyị nwa bụ ndị nwanyị. Anyị nwa bụ ndị nwanyị ga-ekwu ihe ga-eme Nigeria. Maka na nsogbu Nigeria nwere si na ntọala wee bido. Ọ ntọala Nigeria ebe a ka nsogbu si wee bido. So n'ọkwanụ ndị nwanyị ga-ekwu otu a ga-esi wee mee. Ya mere anyị ji wee na-achọ ka anyị gwa ndị National Assembly na ndị agha ndị military na ndị ndọrọ ndọrọ ọchịchị dị iche iche ka ha wepụ aka ha n'okwu gbasara Nigeria. Anyị nwa bụ ndị nwanyị, anyị nwa bụ ihe ga-ekwu ihe ga-eme Nigeria. Ọwụ ha nwa. Ihe ọzọ achọkwa ka unu ghọta bụ na abịa na obodo a na-akpọ federation n'okwu nwa bekee, ihe mbụ ekwesịrị ime bụ ime ka mba niile nọ n'obodo ahụ gaa na nke ha n'obodo ha gaa nọkọ kpaa nkata ọfụma ma dekwa ya ede na ntọala obodo ha nke a na-akpọ constitution n'okwu nwa bekee. Nke a bụ nke mbụ. Nke abụọ bụ na ha ga-eme ntụnye aka n'akwụkwọ a na-akpọ referendum n'okwu nwa bekee. Mgbe ha mesịrị ihe ndị a, then mba niile ndị ahụ ga-ezukọta kpaa ka ga-esi wee biri. Otu a ka esi eme obodo a na-akpọ federation. Federation awụghị ihe ofu onye ga-emechite na ọnụ ndị ọzọ. Ihe ọzọkwa achọ ka unu mara bụ na anyị ezukọbeghị. Onweghị mgbe anyị ji wee zukọ onweghị mgbe anyị na ndị ogbu mmadụ na ndị ọkpọfu ọbara a na-akpọ ndị Fulani, onweghị mgbe anyị na ha mekọrọ nzukọ si na anyị ga-abụrụ otu obodo. Anyị emeghị nzukọ ahụ. Biko nụ, onye ọbụla binite ka a dọsaa obodo a ji mụ na gị ka anyị wee nwere ike wee bie ndụ otu Chineke si wee kee anyị.
Thank you, Sister Ekwe. Thank you so much. That was great. Look at you. Yay. All right, Sister Augusta, your turn.
Hey, thank you, Sister Ekwe and Sister Muna. Yeah, I was supposed to do this in Yoruba, but my Yoruba is very rusty right now, so I'll do it in Pidgin. I want you all to just understand. So the take-home point where we be one talk, we say, we make our people understand, say those people where follow kill us the time where they do the Biafran war, where they kill about 3.5 million people for 1967 and 70. Now then be the same people where they kill now for Plateau, for Benue, for Southern Kaduna. Now the same forces be that. The people where they carry con kill us that time, now then they follow even kill them Plateau now. So nothing don't change. Another thing the same, they don't term us as slaves. And they say anybody will be slave, no get human rights. And that's not true. So the thing what we supposed to do, now for us to first of all come out ourselves for slavery before we go to demand human rights. And we're supposed to do that so that we'll come up for this your house where Lord Luga build called Nigeria. You now understand? Another one be saying, for us to move small to where we want to reach finally. Now for us to do what they call referendum. We go gather, agree, choose, do some kind of vote, what they call referendum, to agree. Because now we, the owners of the land, supposed to do that referendum. And we don't want war, we don't want fight. We want to do them jejely so that we go get where they go. Then we have to resolve all the fundamental contradictions. That we say, the people waiting say na them. Like some National Assembly, they say na them. Now them go do the assignment where go repair this constitution. That's a lie. Now we people supposed to do this thing. You understand? So the military, the politician, then say na them go arrange this constitution for us. Would they tell them say it no go happen? Now we, the owners of the land, supposed to arrange what go benefit us. Now we go talk what we want. Now we go talk what we want to do. So the thing be say, another question be say, what in they call federation? Federation now, where other blocks, other federating blocks gather together will consult in Nigeria now federation. But in this case, the other blocks never gather together to even agree. So all we want all the federating blocks, make all of them go their own corner, go write their own constitution, say, now like this, now we want to, when they don't write them, we'll come together, do what they call negotiation. We'll come know whether we want agree to join the federation or whether we no want the union, whether we want to join the union or we no want. If I bring waiting my own people want, another person bring this waiting his own people want, all of us go gather, we'll come look at them thoroughly. If you know jail, we no go stand. But if you jail, we go feel continue. So that one now make everybody understand. And the people with the National Assembly, they just say if they form one small kind committee, they go feel draft constitution. That one don't make sense now. Which kind of committee now one form? We've been telling you say the decree 24 where they give us. What that doesn't we the people do them. We've been telling you say we the people not do them. Now you want come gather some few people for National Assembly to draft constitution. Now for where that one they happen now? Now for where they happen? It means that they insult us so. I would not say we not go agree this time around. So finally, we the people of Nigeria, we never meet. Nigeria not even be nation. So we not even call ourselves with the people of Nigeria. We never meet. We never agree. We not form union. We not go form union with all these terrorists straight up and down. They kill us for no reason. Then they kill us on top of our own team. So we not agree with those people. We have not asked pertinent questions we go favor us. They don't agree us ask those kind of questions. So how you go to come together, come to say we the people agree? Now for where? Where we follow agree? Show me where, when, how. We don't agree. So the first thing now, if they want make we talk, we must go through what they call referendum. If they no agreement, we go through referendum, then do on their own. Because we no go agree to continue to stay inside this kind strangulations. They inside this kind hole where they don't put all of us. All of us won't come out. And then Yoruba don't they show signs say they don't even go already. Yoruba don't they show sign. For October 1, then go do that their major concert. All over the world though, not be for one place, so they go do and come and say, they know they do again. And I make everybody say, every corner where you do, talk say, you know, they do again, not be by force. Because in the first place, they don't gather us together. They just say, we the people. Meanwhile, we will not gather. Thank you very much. Sister Ike and Sister Muna. Thank you.
Thank you so much. As you can see, we are serious as heart attack on where we're going. We want to sensitize our people. It's so funny that our brother even thought about it, not knowing that we are planning to get people involved. So if you're from the Middle Belt area and you know how to help us interpret this, our take-home point, please. We want to hear from you so we can get an audio version of it. So otherwise, we'll see you guys back next week. We must get these things right. The lives of our children depends on it. That's why we're not giving up. There's nothing else to do than to make sure that this thing is done. So thank you, brothers and sisters. We'll see you guys next week.